All right, we're just about ready to go here on the Toledo Sports Network, CW13. Norm Waymer, Mike Bauman. For this battle in the Northern Buckeye Conference, the Eastwood Eagles hosting the Lake Flyers. Let's give you the starting lineup. First of all, for the Lake Flyers. In the backcourt, we'll get Jacob Reddick, a 6-foot sophomore, Brandon Neal, a 6-foot junior. And he'll go along with Connor Bowen, a 6-foot senior. Front court, Jared Reddick, a 6'2 senior. Todd Walters, a 6'3 senior. For Eastwood, in the backcourt, Nick Kaufman, a 5'10 junior. Go with Noah Smith, a 5'10 senior. In the front court, Tim Hudelbrink, 6'2 senior. Jason Furtick, a 6'4 senior. Zach Jacoby, a 6'5 senior. The freshman, Grant Herzl, out with a back injury for Eastwood. He got a lot of playing time last week in our game against Rossford. No question Eastwood's going to have the size advantage, Mike. Lake's going to try to do some other things.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Lake played small ball last year, and they were still dominant in the MVC. Rossford also had a very good team and had the size advantage inside, but Lake does such a good job defensively of playing team defense and keeping people out of the paint, even though they are at a size disadvantage with their small ball. And on the other end, Connor Bowen gets up and down the floor so quickly. Even though he leads his team in points per game, Norm, he's averaging 8 assists per game on the year. So they spread the ball very well, and I think you're going to see them try to do that against Eastwood.
Here we go with the tap. And it'll go over to the Lake Flyers. Try a baseline pass. We're going to call that a kick, I believe.
Well, you mentioned the size. Zach Jacoby's one of those guys, 33 for Eastwood.
On the drive, little floater up, no good. The rebound will go to Furtick. Bowen with the miss. Nice backdoor cut, but it got chipped away and a turnover. That was one thing that plagued Eastwood last week against Rossford. Reddick on the drive, no, but he'll go to the line for 2.
He's a tough kid, 17.5 points per game, 8 rebounds per game. Probably one of their best rebounders, but you mentioned some of the things that these guys are going to try to do against them tonight. One thing that Coach Bowen mentioned before the game, Norm, was trying to keep Jacoby off the glass. He's a very active player, inside, outside, as we saw against Rossford. And even though these guys have lost a lot of experience, they're gelling well as a team. And Bowen said, listen, this Eastwood, they always play hard defense. We have to be conscious of that tonight.
Reddick missed the first, made the second, and a 1-0 Flyer lead. Lake going to pressure the ball in the backcourt. Long pass down to the basket. Furtick no good. The Flyers will come away with the board. Almost a travel. Inside, outside. Neal for 3, got it. It's nothing like inside, outside. Your shooting percentages will be so much better if you can get the ball inside, kick it out, because when you kick it out, then the player that's getting ready to shoot already square to the basket.
There's 2 or 3 guys for Lake who can hit that almost at will, too. When you look at Brandon Neal, Connor Bowen, I mean, these guys can hit the 3 from the outside. And you've got Todd Walters inside, who is their biggest player at 6'3", but plays a lot bigger than his size because he does such a great job cleaning the glass, especially on the defensive end.
4-0 Flyers. Just a little over a minute gone. Into the corner for 3, no good. A rebound to Walters. Those Lake uniforms are not the easiest to see the numbers on. 3-pointer, no good. Rebound to Hudelbrink. And a travel.
And Hudelbrink's a guy offensively, went in double figures the first game of the year. This is a team that really could use his scoring right now, especially with the point guard out with Herzl. We love what we saw from him, especially as a freshman. And I think he'll get his feet underneath him, but he's another athletic guy who has potential to score.
Out to the basket, no good. Hudelbrink with the rebound.
But one thing Matt Routson talked about even last week before the Rossford game, Norm, was, you know, he was actually really impressed with how well his guys have gelled this year, given the experience they lost.
Baseline jumper by Zach Jacoby. And Eastwood on the board. Three-pointer in the corner, no good. Furtick with the rebound. Kaufman into the corner to Jacoby, but I think he stepped on the sideline.
And you mentioned the turnovers against Rossford. So far, by my count, 3 already for the Eagles in this one. But that's something that Lake does very, very well, is they have active hands defensively. Great corner trap that time to force Jacoby in the mistake.
You got an illegal screen. Brandon Neal picks up the foul. Well, herein lies the problem, is that for Eastwood, you've gotten 3 offensive shots and you have 3 turnovers. And you just cannot win basketball games at that ratio. Hudelbrink almost lost that, but was able to save it. Tried to get it inside, last touch by the Flyers.
Well, and one thing they did well in the second quarter against Rossford, if my memory serves me correctly, Herzl did a really great job of getting into the paint and being aggressive and getting Eastwood to the free throw line to try to keep things close despite the size disadvantage. Now they have the size advantage tonight, but they're going to need those trips to the free throw line.
Nice block on the perimeter. Inside, up and good, Todd Walters.
Nice look. And, you know, great players, one thing they always do is take what the defense gives them, and you couldn't paint a better picture right there than Connor Bowen. He gets cornered in the outside, uses a little crossover to go to the baseline and finds his teammate wide open. Plays within himself.
Foul on the Flyers. Jacob Reddick with the foul. Jacob is the sophomore, Jared is the senior. Yes, they are brothers.
And Jake's pretty good, too. 12 points per game so far this year. He's one of those guys who can hit it from the outside. Did it last year as a freshman on the varsity. Was a really vital part to their offensive success, because you'd have Bowen go into the paint, and he knew he could kick it outside to Reddick on the wing. He knew he could kick it out to Neal. He's going to be a tough player for the next couple of years.
Inside Jacoby, no good. Battle for the rebound tied up. Possession arrow will favor Eastwood.
And a guy to keep an eye on the outside tonight for the Eagles, too, is Nick Kaufman, the 5'10 junior. He had a couple of threes and some crucial moments against Rossford. He's a pretty good spot-up shooter. That's a guy you got to keep an eye on if you're a Lake Flyers defender tonight.
6-2 Lake with the lead, 4:40 to go in the first. Talking to Matt Routson, the coach of Eastwood, before the game. There's a nice pass inside, sat on the rim, didn't want to fall. Kick back out, Kaufman gets the rebound. That no good, rebound to Neal. And the Flyers are going to get 2 at the line. Talking to Coach Routson, too, he said, first 2 league games, we get the teams that are picked 1 and 2 in the league.
Yeah.
Lake picked 1, Rossford picked 2.
And the 2 teams that it came down to last year in Rossford and Lake.
Kaufman picks up the foul. Jared Reddick to the line, misses the first.
Now, Norm, I'm not trying to make you feel old when I say this, okay? But
I am old.
You've been doing this a while. Do you even remember around 2000, 2001, were these schedules the way they are now in terms of the league games this early in the season? Because we've seen that boys and girls games that we've done this year.
Usually not, no. That's just been in recent years. Usually you're late December, if not January, before your league starts. Up and good on the inside by Noah Smith. Eastwood cuts the lead to 7-4. Neal kicked it back out. 3:52 to go in the first. Smith moved to the basket, no good. by Bowen. To the other way in transition, Noah Smith.
And Hoodelbrink right now playing some good defense from about 20 feet in, really set up that break to Smith.
You got to get some transition baskets once in a while, and that's something that Eastwood couldn't do last week against Rossford. And credit the Bulldogs for their defense. On the drive, off balance, no good. Hoodelbrink yet another rebound. I got him with 5 already. Flyers are going to try and trap. And almost a steal, out of bounds. Let's see where they said touched it last. Hopefully everybody's okay.
Yeah, that time Jared Reddick trying to jump out of the way. But got a piece of the stands.
All right, we're going to get a timeout. 2:58 to go in the first. 7-6 Lake.
That gives us a chance to say thank you to some of our wonderful sponsors. IBEW Local 8, been with us for a number of years, as well as UA Local 50, the Pipefitters and Plumbers. And also Big Apple Deli out on Woodville Road. They've got all your favorite deli products for your next get-together. Give them a call at 419-698-2344. And also, don't forget about Big Apple Blossom Florists at 2265 Woodville Road. They are at 419-691-9655. You got a mother, you got a grandma, girlfriend, wife. Maybe you got an ex you're trying to bring back in the picture. They have all your flower needs for the upcoming holidays. And also, SPL Outfitters, one of our new sponsors this year. They're in the Navarre Plaza next to BW3s.
If they're an ex, don't go back. I'm just saying. Flyers with the basketball with a 1-point lead, just under 3 minutes to go in the first. That's your advice tonight from Dr. Norm.
If you have an ex, do not go back.
Three-pointer Reddick. No good. Another rebound for Hoodelbrink. Eagles with a chance to take the lead.
Well, right now they're forcing them to stay on the outside, and if you're Eastwood, that's where you want Lake to beat you tonight.
Baseline jumper is short. A rebound to Brandon Neal. Three-pointer, off the mark. Flyers with the rebound in the corner. Another three-pointer, got it this time. Connor Bowen. And a steal. Got it, and a foul.
Five just like that. Just like that. And you know, that was a contested shot. They had a pretty good defensive possession, but they lost sight of Jacob Reddick after the three norm. He rebounds his own miss, gets it to Connor over on the wing. And all he needs is a few feet to be able to knock that down, even though the defender was closing on him. And then he just made a heck of a play on the steal.
Bowen got it. And it's 13-6 Lake. It was 7-6 Lake. Eastwood with a chance to take the lead. And now all of a sudden they're down 7. I mean, that's an 8-point turnaround. The 2 you didn't get, and the 6 on the other end. Hoodelbrink to the basket, no, but drew the foul.
And see, I like that. I like that time because Lake's defense was pushing Eastwood's offense to set up darn near half court right there. But when that happens, if you break loose from that second line, you're going to have a lot of options below the paint. And I like Hoodelbrink's aggressiveness right there to just take it to the hoop once he got down below the three-point line.
Jacob Reddick gets his second foul. Hoodelbrink misses the first free throw. Well, if you have the size advantage, you got to take it to the basket. Take advantage of it.
Well, when you're a young team that's mixing in new parts, you lost one of your good young players in Herzl, and as you mentioned, a really tall task when you look at the schedule and you get the number 1 and 2 teams picked in this league to start the year. Not an easy place to be for the Eastwood Eagles.
Adam Duncan into the game for the Flyers. Hoodelbrink did not look good in those free throws. Still 13-6 Flyers. Minute 15 to go in the first. And a steal. Jacoby. Got it. Didn't quite get up there for the two-handed dunk. Jumper. Got it. Connor Bowen. He's got 9 in the quarter. 16-8 Flyers.
9 in the quarter and 8 in the last minute and a half, basically.
Dangerous pass and picked off. The foul going to be on Noah Smith because he was the second one to get there.
Well, he's another guy that handles the ball pretty well on the perimeter. It's going to be an interesting matchup as the game goes on against Lake's guards, who are very active defensively. But 12 points a game so far for that young fella. He can certainly get it to the bucket.
I mean, Noah Smith's got a right to go after the ball, but he got there second. Reddick got it. Jared Reddick with 4, and the lead is out to 10 now. Flyers with that 1-3-1 three-quarter court press. Got it down low to Smith. Got it up, set on the rim and fell. Noah Smith with 6, 18-10 Lake.
And I like the hesitation there with the double team to try to either draw the contact or get the space, and he got the space and got the bucket.
Flyers will try to take the final shot of the quarter. And they will. Three-pointer, no good. And a rebound to Eastwood, and that will end the quarter. 18-10, Lake with the lead over Eastwood. We'll be back for quarter number 2 coming up on the Toledo Sports Network and CW13.
Oh, you got Adam Duncan. A couple of them I missed rebound-wise.
Somebody does stats. So.
7. The Big Apple Deli has all the food for your next party or get-together. The best subs, salads, soups, pasta, party trays, and great lunch and dinner specials. The Big Apple Deli, 2118 Woodville Road, has got you ready for all your party needs, or just stop out for a great lunch.
Wow.
Which will have no effect on any of your fantasy league games.
Ouch.
Because if you have anybody off either of those teams, you're not in the playoffs. Here we go. 3, 2. Second quarter ready to go. Toledo Sports Network, CW13. Norm Weaver, Mike Bauman. 18-10. Lake with the lead. And an 11-4 run to end the quarter.
Yeah. Well, and once again, the Achilles heel so far for the Eagles, Norm, has been the turnover. 6 by my count in that first quarter.
Bowen to the basket in the left hand, up and in.
He's just gotten to a point in the second half of that first quarter where he decided to be more aggressive offensively, and it's paying off.
To the basket, missed the bunny. The rebound to the Flyers. Reddick, not going to count. A foul before the shot. Oh, or did he step out of bounds? No, I think it was a foul before the shot. Drayton Williams snuck in on us for the Flyers, 6'1 junior. He's number 15.
Pretty good football player, too. Tight end, defensive end. And a guy that can give them some size this year that they didn't have last year, some extra size.
Jacoby's first foul. Bowen to the basket, double clutch and got it. The Eagles do not have an answer for Connor Bowen right now. He's got 13 of their 20. Or 22. 22-10 Lake. Jonathan Bolus into the game for Eastwood. He's number 20, 6'3", junior.
Well, what I liked in the first quarter was Eastwood did a good job on the defensive glass. They did a good job for the most part of keeping the Flyers around the perimeter. But you've seen Connor Bowen make a conscientious effort to try to get into the paint and create more easy buckets, and it's paying off for the Flyers now, who are getting a lot of points inside the three-point line. And that second man has not been there for Eastwood defensively.
Another turnover, and it's that 1-3-1 defense that's been causing the problems.
Well, they're making them set up high, and it's tough for the Eagles right now. Well, now we got a timeout that gives us a chance once again to thank some of our awesome sponsors. We mentioned SPL Outfitters. They're over there in the Navarre Plaza next to BW3's. Great clothing for all you hard workers out there, guys that get their hands dirty, like Mike Jameson. Although it's not necessarily for outdoor stuff, I'll just leave it at that. Big Apple Deli on Woodville Road. All your favorite deli products. You know I love you, Mike. For your next get-together.
I had an awesome sandwich there today, and Tim Williams wants to know where Norm Weimer is. He was upset you haven't been there.
I'm right here.
Okay, all right.
419-698-2344 Big Apple Deli, and also IBEW Local 8 and UA Local 50.
Tim, I'll come see you soon. Flyers of the basketball, a 22-10 lead, just under 7 to go in the second. Flyers patient on this trip. Bowen wants to penetrate again. Nice floater up and in. 15 for Connor Bowen.
4 away from his season average, and we got 6:25 to go here in the second.
Unless I missed one. They have 12 up on the board. I'm going to double check as soon as I get a chance.
I got 15 as well. Nice cut.
Three-pointer, no good. Rebound, Jared Reddick. Reddick, no. Look at that hustle by Brandon Neal. They gave one of those threes to Jacob Reddick, and we'll check that. Owen with the spin, no good. Jared Reddick the rebound, and they'll bring it back out. And the Flyers are just more active.
Well, and that's where Eastwood has to go back to fundamentals, stay between the ball, your man in the basket, and box out. Right now, the Flyers are getting a lot of second chance opportunities to keep these possessions alive. Open
look, Neal for three. No good. Williams gets the rebound. Loses it. And the Eagles save it. Little turnaround. It's going to fall for Jason Furtick.
And I like that possession. Quick passes, guys not holding on to the basketball, which you can't do against the Flyers in their defense because all these guys have active hands, and they keep it in the middle of the floor and get a nice little jumper in the paint. I like it.
Reddick, no good. Rebound ripped down by Chris Orcutt, 6'3" junior. Smith got it inside. Furtick to the basket and in.
Did it again on that possession.
24-14. Flyer lead cut to 10. Reddick, nice pass inside, up and in to Drayton Williams.
Well, and that's a perfect example right there of Eastwood really playing good defense. Everybody's paying attention to Connor because he's got 15 points. But he penetrates the defense and finds Drayton Williams open down low after a couple of passes. I mean, Eastwood really didn't do anything wrong there. You're looking at the guy who's scoring, and he ends up getting it to the guy that is down low.
Smith got to the baseline, put the floater up and in. He's got 8 of the Eagles' 16. Good ball movement. The Flyers don't have to settle. And they're going to call traveling on Bowen.
Well, the last couple of possessions, Eastwood's done a really good job, I think, Norm, of finding the guy on the backside of the defense.
Just a 30-second timeout. 26-16. Flyers with the lead. Coming up tonight, 11 o'clock. Powerbomb Championship Wrestling back. Where we announce 2 title matches for January the 25th at the International Boxing Club.
Have you gotten in the ring this year or no?
It's not going to happen.
He said that
I'm 2-0, and I'm retired at 2-0. It's going to stay that way forever. That's not happening. Eastwood with the basketball. 3:10 to go in the second. Inside, stolen away. Todd Walters came up with the ball. Back down the other way to the basket, no, but Jared Reddick will go back to the line again.
Well, that flash in the paint has been there so far this quarter, and Eastwood's done a good job reading it. That time, though, they just held on the ball a little bit too long in the corner, and it gave Lake enough time to recover and get the steal and go the other way. But they've been doing a great job of being patient offensively and trying to get the best shot, and it's been there.
Reddick picked up his second. Reddick hits the first. He's got 5. The Flyer lead is 27-16. 2:57 to go in the second. Second one for Reddick, good. He was the quarterback of the football team. He's going to Findlay on a football scholarship.
Tough kid. You know, I got a chance to talk to him a little bit at the girls' game we just did Tuesday night. And that game against Eastwood, he got hurt on the first play.
Three-pointer got it in the corner. Noah Smith. He's got 11 of the Eagles' 16.
Right about on a season average of 12 so far.
Well, you can do it, so can I. Jared Reddick for 3. (31-18) Lake. And a foul on the Flyers.
And one thing I've always liked about Reddick too, Norm, is he plays very, very hard, basketball and football, and that's obviously something you want to see out of one of your best athletes. Certainly their best player on the football team is to have a guy who leads by example. That Eastwood game where we thought he got hurt on the touchdown, the diving touchdown, he actually hurt his shoulder on the very first play of that game and still hung in and made a couple of big plays and scored a couple of touchdowns. So he's a tough kid and he plays hard, and that kind of permeates throughout.
Jacob Reddick picked up his 3rd foul. He'll have to go sit down. Well, he won't have to, but the coach is saying it's a good idea with 3 fouls.
Well, they're going to need his shooting later on in this one. Even though they've got the 12-point lead right now, I think Eastwood's doing a great job moving the ball, being patient against this defense so far that they're seeing from the Flyers.
It's a foul on Walters. It's a 15 foul on the Flyers. Turnaround jumper, no good by Jacoby. The rebound goes to Lake. Bowen. 2:05 to go in the second. Jumper, Bowen, no good. Offensive rebound, Williams. He's going to bring it back out. He had a couple of those off the bench. Jared Reddick stops, double pump, got it up, no good, too long, rebound. Goes out of bounds as Hoodelbrink couldn't hang on to it.
And it's about the only one he hasn't been able to hang on to so far tonight. 6 in the first quarter alone. Really like the young fella's athleticism defensively, and I really like what they've done so far as trying to keep Lake out of the paint. The problem is Lake is getting those second chance opportunities so far in this quarter and keeping these possessions alive, a la Drayton Williams' the rebound on that very last possession.
Neal wanted to penetrate, couldn't do it. Reddick to Walters, tried to give it right back. Out of bounds, they say last touch by Reddick. At 1-3-1 again. The Eagles will get it across. Or cut to Kaufman. Kaufman lost the handle, ball on the floor. Tied up, possession arrow will favor Eastwood.
Well, so far they haven't really gotten flustered by the press as far as picking up at half court because they're keeping the ball in the middle of the floor for the most part, which is exactly what you want to do, whether it's a 1-3-1 or full court press, half court trap. You want to keep the ball in the middle of the floor and not get pinched in the corners.
Kaufman trying to drive on Walters. Wasn't there. Smith, baseline, and a foul. 6th team foul on the Flyers.
I really like his aggressiveness tonight, especially right there. Nice opportunity to get to the baseline. Knew he wasn't going to get a clean look at the bucket, Norm, but having that wherewithal to try to get extra opportunities if you can get him at the charity stripe, I really like the aggressiveness from the young fella.
Long three-pointer by Kaufman, got it. Where'd that come from?
I told you he could hit it. I didn't know he could hit it from Pemberville like that, but he could hit it.
Well, we're in Pemberville.
Good point. We've been talking about the Flyers offense so much.
To the basket, a foul. You know, it's one of those shots, too, as a coach, you go, no, nice shot.
That was about a 25-footer right there or longer.
Foul will be on Jacoby, his second. Every foul from till the end of the half, somebody will be going to the line. This time it's Connor Bowen. First free throw is good.
For Eastwood is number 14, Paige Booth.
I'm going to check that 1-3 because they got Jacob Reddick with a 3. And it could be I just misread the numbers, which are a little hard to see out here. Little break with a rebound.
Well, Lake's got the gray with the blue numbers. Cool looking jersey, but not the easiest when you're
Trying to call a game.
trying to call a game to keep stats.
Rarely do they think of us. It's even better when they have football jerseys like that. You're trying to see it from the press box. Down to 20 seconds to go in the quarter. Lake with a 32-22 lead. And there's a block. That'll send Eastwood to the line for another one-on-one. Todd Walters gets the foul, his second.
Well, you take away the 8 turnovers that they've had and some of the second chance points that Lake has gotten from just getting the offensive rebound, this could be an even tighter game. And right now they're only down by 10 given those 8 turnovers and those second chance opportunities. So if I'm Matt Routson, I'm really happy with the effort of my guys here in the first half. It's just some of those fundamental mistakes, making sure to box out. And I think offensively the aggressiveness has definitely been there for Eastwood this quarter.
Kaufman hits them both. He's got 5. The Flyer lead is 8. 13 seconds to go in the quarter. Lake will try to take the final shot. Bowen working Hootelbrink. Crossover. Tried to kick it to the corner and stolen away. Hootelbrink, is he going to get it off? He did, but he couldn't finish. So we'll go to the half. And Lake with the lead. The Flyers 32, the Eastwood Eagles 24. We'll be back on the Toledo Sports Network in CW 13. All right, back we are getting ready for the third quarter here of the Toledo Sports Network. CW 13, Norm Weimer, Mike Bauman. 32-24. Lake with the lead over Eastwood. It was good to see Von Graffine here. I told Von he'll forever be the last guy to do a game with me on the radio. He's now coaching at Port Clinton. They play Eastwood on the 30th of December, so he's up here scouting. Doesn't live too far from here either.
Well, it was an interesting first half. You know, I really, you look at the 8 turnovers from Eastwood, I mean, that's probably the biggest blemish, but they played, for the most part, pretty good defense other than that little stretch where Connor Bowen went off, and really there's not a whole lot you can do to stop that. You can just try to contain it. But I thought they did a pretty good job, Norma, trying to keep Lake out of the paint, but Lake was getting those second chance opportunities.
Bowen with 13 in the first half. Bowen to the basket, no good. Walters jumped in and got the offensive board. There's Jacob Reddick for 3, no good. The rebound, Nick Kaufman for Eastwood. trying to save it was Furtick, wasn't able to do so.
And he had a couple of nice buckets towards the end of the second quarter in that 1-3-1 defense that we saw from the Flyers. I thought Eastwood did a good job of making that extra pass, getting past that first level near the perimeter and getting into the paint.
We didn't get stats here tonight. We got stats last week. 32-24.
I think that was our man Ken from Rossford, though. I think that's why.
Ah, okay.
Ken hooks it up.
Bowen. I tried to spin there a couple of times. Now he gets the open jumper, got it. Now Bowen with 16. Flyers back out to 11-point lead. On the drive, Smith drew the foul. Connor Bowen's first foul.
And I really like what we've seen from him. I mean, it was the aggressor was Herzig, the freshman who's hurt with the back injuries you mentioned towards the beginning of the broadcast, Norm, who really was doing a good job against Rossford, getting into the paint, going up against the big guys down low. I really like what I've seen from Smith as far as his aggressiveness as a perimeter player to have the wherewithal to try to get in the paint tonight and create easy opportunities.
Could not bring it down was Jacoby. The last touch by the Flyers. Boy, Jacoby had an easy hoop if he could have brought that in.
4 tonight from him.
Furtick for 3. Too long. Smith with the weak side rebound, and he drew the foul.
Well, and there's something he just did right now that he did in the first half, too, when he was double-teamed down low and was able to get the bucket, was the pump fake. We don't see that a whole lot at the high school level. Connor Bowen's really good at it. Smith's used it a couple of times tonight to get that extra space.
Bowen got 2 quick fouls. Kaufman, no good. Hudelbrink came in, got the rebound, and called a foul over the back. Looked to us like, looked to me anyway, that Walters had ball. But he did it from behind, and you're going to get called for that most of the time.
Yeah, the fans not too happy about that one. I think it looked a little worse than what it was. That's a case where you got a guy going up, and like you said, Walters has got the ball, trying to get the ball, and you get a guy's center of gravity like that, they're going to go down hard.
Well, Reddick just picked up his 4th. Jacob Reddick, the sophomore. And Lake already has 14 fouls. We're a minute and a half into the third quarter. Kaufman from the corner. Got it. For 3.
Another one he also hit in Pemberville.
35-27 Lake. Spin move, Bowen. Boy, there's the shooter's touch. Connor Bowen with 18.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens at the next level with him, because I've heard he's a good baseball player as well.
That is the 5th team foul. That foul being on Drayton Williams, his 2nd.
Well, give credit to Eastwood. They're making pretty crisp passes right now and being aggressive offensively and getting into the teeth of the Lake defense, which is forcing Lake to be in some pretty compromising positions.
But if they could get into the bonus early, that would be a great help in trying to catch up in this game. A little fall away, got it. Boy, there's a nice looking shot from Noah Smith.
It's a tough shot, too, contested on the move. I really like what I'm seeing from the young fellow tonight.
I bet you shot that in his driveway about 1,000 times. A little fall away, nice looking. Bowen to the basket, couldn't get it to go. And rebound Jacoby on the run. No, Kaufman threw it back to Jacoby. Not a good look. Reddick lost it. Williams got it back. And a whistle, what do we got? A foul.
Yeah, we're going to get a push. Smith went to the floor. We're going to get a little forearm shiver that time from Lake.
And the foul situation is getting really interesting now. 16 fouls on the Flyers in less than 3 minutes here in the third quarter. The next Lake foul will send Eastwood to the free throw line.
Not a good way to start the quarter, obviously, but once again, Eastwood being aggressive offensively right now, and it's paying off.
If they stay that way, they could get themselves the line. Smith for three. No good off the back of the rim. Run down in the corner, though, by Jacoby. Smith couldn't get it to go. Out of the pack comes Neal. Rolls around the rim, no good. Jacoby with the board. 37-29, Lake leading Eastwood. 4:37 to go in the third. And I think we're going to get another Lake foul. If we do, that'll send Eastwood to the line. Let's see what we got here.
I think Ryan Bowen just got teed up, Norm.
No, we definitely got a technical. I didn't see why.
It looked like he was talking, and the official at half court just turned around and teed him up.
Kaufman missed the first free throw. Made the second.
He's having a nice night with 9 points. A couple of big shots from the outside. Defensively having a good game.
Eastwood's cut it to 7. That's as close as they've been in a long time. 4.5 to go in the third. Pass inside, picked off by Adam Duncan.
And it was a nice, almost a nice look on the pass, but Duncan was just 2 steps quicker.
Three-pointer from the corner, no good. Kaufman with the board. Smith to the basket and got it.
Look at Smith, man.
15 for Noah Smith, and it's a 5-point game.
Fearless right now. Smith is fearless right now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love the aggressiveness.
Eastwood's gotten themselves back into this. On the drive, no good. Furtick rips down the board.
And it's absolutely affecting Lake on the other end. They're pressing right now, big time.
Eagles can cut this to a one-possession game on the drive. They're going to call travel. I like, though, what Noah Smith did. I mean, he's being aggressive. He's trying to draw a foul. I think 9 out of 10 times you're going to get the call.
Well,
you got him in foul. Even though it's a turnover, I think it's still what's the right thing to do.
You're keeping the defense on their toes, and, you know, from what we understand this year, as far as the calls go, the hand checking is going to be kind of kept to a limited amount. That's not going to be allowed as much on the perimeter. And so far, Eastwood's getting into the teeth of the defense and making this a close game.
First foul in the third quarter on Eastwood, but it's on Zach Jacoby, and it's his third. So Jacoby will come out. Chris Orcutt comes back in, number 15. Bowen working it, kicked it to the corner for 3. Got it, and a foul. Oh, is that a big play?
And Brandon Neal, for as much as we've talking about Hoodelbrink and his athleticism, which credit deserved there for Hoodelbrink with 8 rebounds by my count in the game, but Brandon Neal's got a quiet 6 points and 5 boards by my count, Norm. I mean, he's really been active on the perimeter and defensively cleaning the glass.
And he completes the 4-point play. And Lake back out to a 9-point advantage.
Huge play from Neal right there.
Steal. To the basket and in. Smith got his pocket picked by Connor Bowen, and we're going to get a timeout. We'll take time and come back. We will. 43-32 Lake on the Toledo Sports Network and CW13.
Just give me like a high sign.
No, always do that.
Okay.
Give yourself a breather.
Okay.
You know, do that, and then we'll either use it that way or.
I just don't want to have like a lot of dead air. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't know if we're doing a live read or not. So.
Well,
Yeah.
see, then you can do the live read. You know, and then if I need them, you know, I'm at 45 minutes now on this game of actual time.
Okay.
So.
Just get, like I said, just give me a sign or something. I know what you're saying. You can cut it if you cut it. I just don't want to wait like 15 seconds with dead air and have that be with nothing. You know what I mean?
We got a timeout right here on Toledo Sports Network, CW13. I'd like to say thanks to IBEW. If I need it, I got it.
Okay.
If I don't need it, I've got that breather in there.
There you go.
Sorry, folks. You got to hear how we do it here, you know.
3:04 to go in the third. Eastwood had cut it to 5. Lake back out now to an 11-point lead.
Well, a huge 4-point play from Brandon Neal. Good defense as far as closing out. Just got a little too close. And then a big steal from Bowen.
High post, the down low to Hudelbrink to the basket. Nice play by Furtick on the pass.
Jason Furtick.
Big fella's having a nice game tonight. And Hudelbrink's, it's nice to see him get a bucket because he's playing so hard on the defensive end.
For 3, no good. Orcutt with the rebound. Turn around, got it. Well, that time Furtick had nobody to pass to, but nobody was guarding him.
Well, and I'm surprised they didn't close out on him, Norm, because he made a couple of big shots in the first half from that very spot.
Bowen forced one up and got it to go. I would say Connor Bowen's feeling it right now.
No, 22 points right now?
Backdoor to Hudelbrink, got too far under. Tip up, good. Give it to Furtick.
Continued activity inside the three-point line. That's what you're seeing right now from Eastwood.
And the Flyers threw it away.
Smith out there. Furtick is having a nice game with 6 points, or 8 now after that bucket. You've also got the big fella in there, and Orcutt. And that's one thing that they have right now is the size advantage, Norm, down low. Jacoby gets in trouble. Orcutt comes in, giving good defensive minutes.
We're seeing good energy out of the Eagles tonight. And part of that probably, too, has to do with the tempo that Lake likes to play at. Oh, and there's a steal. Bowen takes it to the basket. Offensive foul. I think that was Seifert who took the charge.
The senior coming in.
Got back there early, held his ground, did what he needed to do.
Well, and I like that. I don't like it when guys just give the bucket. If you're going to hustle and do the work to get all the way down at the other end, it's going to go either way. You might as well sacrifice your body and try to get the opportunity. Good play that time from Seifert.
Kaufman for 3. Rattles in and out. Rebound Flyers and Bowen. Oh, that would have been a big hoop.
He can make them.
Could have cut it to 4.
He certainly can make them.
1:05 to go in the third. Reddick, jumper. No good. Over the back, foul, I believe. On Furtick. It's the way it looked to me, but I don't think that's what they're calling. Nope, that is what they're calling.
And that's too bad because the young fellow was starting to heat up a little bit. 8 points, doing a pretty good job of finding space on the offensive end behind the defense.
Well, he's only going to sit out for the rest of the quarter, which we're at 56.7 to go. It's about time for a breather anyway, I think. Baseline drive and a foul. Foul is going to be on Bolus. Did not quite hold his ground.
And I got Lake right now at 7 for 10 from the line, unofficially.
That's what I got. Reddick, good. He's got 10. He's 5 of 7 from the stripe. The Lake lead is 8.
Well, the energy that we're seeing tonight, it was there against Rossford, but they just ran into a buzzsaw though with the turnovers and the size that the Bulldogs had. But the effort is there, And if you're Routson and you look at some of the guys that they lost from last year, you got to be happy with that, and it's paying off tonight.
Kaufman. No call. Back on out to Smith. Almost got it stolen. That's going to be a foul, and Kaufman will go to the line for the 1-on-1. Fouls on Jared Reddick, his first. There's nothing wrong with letting him play a little bit. But, you know, there's a difference between effort and energy.
Right.
And Eastwood's had consistent effort, but I'm seeing better energy tonight. First front end of the 1-on-1 good by Kaufman. And sometimes, and Lake likes to play a little more of an up-tempo type of style. Rosford's, you know, going to slow it down half court, get you in the trenches, try to beat you up a little bit. And sometimes that's hard to have good energy against a team like that.
Exactly. You know, by the end of that game, you could tell Eastwood was just winded. They were dusted because they just got pounded and pounded and pounded and pounded.
Look at Reddick down on the block. Jared with 13, the senior. And Lake back to a 9-point lead.
Well, and
big possession here. We got 11 seconds to go in the quarter. On a steal by Reddick. Loose ball. Ball on the floor. Bodies on the floor. Tied up. Lake. Nope. Eastwood will get the arrow with 2.7 to go in the quarter.
Keep an eye on 34 if you're the Flyers right here.
Somebody's got to come back for the ball. And get it into Smith. Double clutched it up there, no. And we are at the end of 3. 49-40, Lake with the lead over Eastwood. We'll be right back with quarter number 4 of the Toledo Sports Network and CW13.
On the job for you for over 100 years. You need a career. You need a future. Local 8 can help you make it happen. Join the men and women who build our community. Become a part of a proud tradition. Build your career. Build your future with the brothers and sisters of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 8. We're on the job for you.
We're on the job for you. We're the local IBEW.
The Union Plumbers, Steam Fitters, and HVACR service mechanics at UA Local 50 build the powerhouses that generate your electricity.
Fourth quarter about ready to go. The Toledo Sports Network and CW13. Lake 49, Eastwood 40.
Been a fun game to call, Norm. You know, we saw Connor Bowen get his early. We've seen a little bit of everything tonight. We've seen Connor Bowen be as advertised. We've seen Jared Reddick make some big plays, which he does on the football field and the basketball court. But we've also seen Noah Smith be really aggressive. He's got 3 more than his average right now. Nick Kaufman knocking down a couple of big threes, getting it done from the free throw line. It's been a fun game to watch.
Lake had an 8-point lead at the end of the first quarter. It's been 31-30 since then. So they've been playing pretty much toe-to-toe ever since. But Eastwood's got to find a way to, well, and there's a basket on the inside. And that was Reddick again, who's really heated up. He's got 15. And the lead is back to 11, and here's this 1-3-1 trap defense. It's Case Booze into the game. Steal.
Oh.
Hoodlebrink.
Oh.
Got the ball, but the official said he got a little more. And he'll call the foul.
That was a heck of a play. Heck of a play. We're on the other end of the court, so our vantage point is not as good as the official who made that call.
When he swiped, his arm got the top of the head of Connor Bowen. Bowen makes the first free throw. He's got 23. The lead is 12. He almost got that thing clean. Free throw no good. Rebound Hoodlebrink. And what do we got here?
We got a travel, I believe, on Case Booze. By my count, that's 17 turnovers now.
Well, my old partner, Tim Smith, always said that that's the referee's bailout to say that they got him with the body. And he coached for a long time.
Well, so far it's been the tough thing for the Eagles this year. As we mentioned, 51 turnovers heading into this game tonight. And they've got 17 by my count so far.
But the Eagles got to get a stop. Three-pointer. Dances on the rim, no good. Rebound, Hulebrink, and a good outlet. To the basket, Smith got it. Nice transition hoop for the Eagles and a big one.
Young fella plays a lot bigger than 5'10".
Noah Smith is having a terrific night. He's got 17. Lake lead is 10. Here comes Bowen again. Got it, the foul. Connor Bowen with 25.
There's just nothing you can do with that. I mean, that's a contested shot, pretty good defense. And what you've seen so far tonight, folks, from Bowen and Reddick, Jared Reddick, that is, the body control that those guys have when they take shots from 10 feet in, especially contested shots, is good.
And that's 4 on Furtick. Bowen hits a free throw to give him 26, and the Lake lead is 13. Just under 6.5 to go. Kaufman picked up his dribble. Got it to Jacoby. Still at 1-3-1 defense. Everywhere you go, you seem like you're getting doubled. Ball on the floor. Kaufman went sprawling and called time.
Got a timeout on the floor. Once again, that gives us an opportunity to say thanks to our wonderful sponsors, IBEW Local 8, longtime loyal sponsor of Toledo Sports Network, as is UA Local 50, the pipe fitters and plumbers. And don't forget about Pub 51 out there on Woodville Road. Great food, great times. We're right in the thick of football season. College basketball starting up. Go check out Pub 51. Also, Big Apple Deli. Make sure you go out there for all your deli products. Great sandwiches. 419-698-2344 is their number. And one of our new sponsors this year, SPL Outfitters. They're over in the Navarre Plaza next to BW3s. For those of you outdoorsmen who get your hands dirty, work outside, or maybe you've just got multiple jobs like Mike Jameson, always out in the cold, getting cameras, video equipment, running here, running there, go check those guys out. They have all the brands for all you hard workers out there at SPL Outfitters.
(55-44), Lake with the lead. Been 6-2 Flyers here in the fourth. One thing that Eastwood really needs to do is get to the line. Kaufman off the screen. Comes a double again. Kaufman tried to bounce it inside and throw it away. The turnovers are starting to mount again for the Eagles.
Especially here in the quarter. Had at least 4 here in the fourth, and it's translated into extra possessions for the Flyers.
Look at Reddick with the pass underneath for the easy bucket by Todd Walders.
Well, and one of the marks of an experienced team is how you play through adversity. And Lake weathered that run by the Eagles and bounced back.
Smith was lucky to get that back, and then he threw it away. To the basket, Reddick got it, drew another foul.
Well, one thing Coach Bowen talked to me about before the game, Norm, about what he loves about his guys, even though they're an experienced team, he said, we've got guys that can put up numbers, as we're seeing tonight, but they all care about getting the W at the end of the day. And it's shown here tonight.
It's a 10-2 run to start the fourth quarter. They make it 11-2. Jared Reddick with 18, and the lead is 18. Just like that. Kaufman for 3. Back of the rim, no good. Out of bounds. It'll go over. Eastwood will keep it. Smith trying to lob it in. Down goes Jacoby. He'll go to the free throw line for a pair. It's double bonus time. 10th team foul on Lake Flyers. They did not post who picked up the foul. Jacoby hits the first. He's got 5. Make it 6. 60-44.
Well, one thing Coach Bowen talked about, too, was keeping him off the glass tonight. And so far, I've got him with 3 boards. They've really taken out some of his activity. But Noah Smith picked it up. Kaufman's picked it up for Eastwood. Really, it's the turnovers that have really hurt them tonight, beyond the obvious with Connor Bowen and Jared Reddick.
Foul on the Eagles. We'll send Lake to the line for the 1-on-1. Noah Smith his 3rd. Brandon Neal will go to the stripe. 1 for 1 from the line. Front end, no good. And look at that hustle. Todd Walters is the one that chipped it out of there.
Playing to win.
Into the corner for 3 and an out. And that time Walters got there a little too late, drew the foul, his 4th.
And what I've really been impressed with the Flyers tonight, Norm, is their second chance opportunities. Their activity on the offensive glass has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal this evening.
Chris Orcutt will go to the line. For 2. First one good. When you go to the line, you're trailing, you do 2 things. You can score, and 2, you can score without the clock moving. It's a long way back now at 60-46. Bowen tried to get it inside. They kicked it back out into the corner. Nice ball movement. Shot didn't want to fall. Jared Reddick couldn't get it to go. Rebound Noah Smith. Smith to the hole, no. But they called a travel. Anyway. I got Eastwood now with 11 turnovers in the second half.
I got him with 20 for the game. And conversely, I got Lake with less than 10 so far. Really done a good job taking care of the basketball.
Under 4 minutes to go in the game. So the Flyers are in no hurry to attack. Unless you get it inside. And Reddick drew the foul.
Well, and the fun thing to watch when you watch Bowen play is he gets his points, but he gets it within the framework of the game. Even when he had that early run at the end of the first quarter where I think he scored 8 straight, he just took what the defense gave him. They left him open a couple of threes. He made a steal, got to the bucket. There's nothing really forced about how he gets his points.
Reddick missed a couple of free throws early, but he's now 8 for 10 from the line. 19 points, and the lead is 15. Could get that one to go. The rebound to Orcutt. The old Waymer jinx strikes again. Out of bounds. Eastwood will keep it.
I got him at 13 for 18 from the line in the game. Eastwood 9 of 12, both doing a pretty good job from the charity stripe tonight. Especially the Eagles, who came in at 69% on the season from the free throw line.
Seifert threw it away. Jared Reddick to the hole with the left hand, got it. And a foul. Oh, that'll kill you.
Turnovers Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers.
21 for Reddick. He'll get to go to the line to try to make it a three-point play. Kaufman with a foul.
Well, and Reddick, too, even though he's kind of a hybrid guard forward on this team, I mean, you can tell he plays football. He's built like a football. He goes to the hole like a football player. And that contact after he gets into the lane is key.
Free throw, doesn't want to fall. Rebound, Furtick. The Waymert jinx continues.
You know, another guy that you saw that with in terms of being a really good basketball player, too, that was also a very good football player, was Deshaun Kaiser.
Around jumper, no good. Rebound, Reddick. And his brother Jacob on the drive. We'll go to the line for a pair.
It's a nice pass. They called the foul before the pass, but I like the little scoop there. Jacob.
5 on Furtick. So Jason Furtick will foul out. 8 points, 5 rebounds. Jacob, first free throw is good. And the second one good. (16-6) in this quarter for the Flyers. And another turnover. And the wheels have just come off for Eastwood in this quarter.
Well, you know, if you're Coach Routson, the effort's been there, the hustle's been there, the defense has been there. For the most part, there's not a whole lot you can do to stop Connor Bone or Jared Reddick. But when you give a good team like this, an experienced team like this, that many extra opportunities with 22 turnovers, it's going to reflect in the score, and it certainly has tonight.
That's going to be an over and back. Yeah, the other thing, too, is that 1-3-1 defense by Lake has been pretty effective. They've trapped at every opportunity, and just the pressure of it after a while, especially when you get to the fourth quarter, you start getting a little tired, start slowing down a little bit, it becomes more effective. Like right there. And Reddick to the basket, he's got 23.
Well, and I think what really impresses me about the way they play that defense is the communication. Everybody's where they're supposed to be.
Another steal. Reddick couldn't get it to go. Jacoby got the rebound. 2:20 to go. Smith, that was almost a real pretty reverse lay-in. Couldn't get it to go. Udelbrink will get the foul.
Well, and if you look at the turnovers once again, they had 51, the Eagles coming into tonight. You add to it, I've got 24. That's 75 turnovers over the course of 3 games. That's just a tough position to be in if you're trying to win basketball games. And like you said, a lot of that credit goes to the deep. And 2 of their first 3 games, with the size of Rossford and just the activity of the Flyers.
Jacob Reddick missed them both. Jacoby the rebound. A 21-point Lake lead with 2:05 to go. Inside, outside, Kaufman for 3 and got it.
I really like what I've seen from him tonight as well.
Kaufman's got 14. That didn't go, but a foul.
You know, and a couple of the threes that he's missed from Pemberville were in and out. I mean, they were on target. He's got a nice stroke. He's got a nice release. Gets it off pretty quick. Pretty high arc on his shot. You know, Eastwood's an athletic team. You know, they get Herzl back in the mix, Norm in the backcourt with Smith. They're going to be competitive in this league. They just got to take better care of the basketball.
Udelbrink fouled out. 2 points, 10 rebounds from my count. Reddick gets the first free throw. It did not help Eastwood that Grant Herzl didn't play tonight, 5'7" freshman. Out with a back injury. That's that, extra guard to try to help against this pressure, 1-3-1. Smith for three, off the mark. Reddick with a rebound.
Well, and it was funny because when you were talking to Coach Routson before the game, one of the things he said was he was a little bit nervous as a freshman, which you'd expect in that situation to play a team like Rossford so early in the year, but I sure as heck didn't see it out there with the way as aggressive as he played in that game and as well as he played.
Yeah, he looked like he belonged. He may have felt it, but he didn't play like it.
And I think for Eastwood to have two guards like that who have the wherewithal to try to get in the paint, create extra opportunities for the teammates, and who can handle the ball pretty well, that's going to be huge going in the league.
Fifth foul on Jacoby. They don't have the buzzer working yet. Remember the buzzer got stuck last week?
Yes.
Bowen in and out. Lake has not shot well from the line in this quarter at all. Made that one. Bowen with 27, 21-point lead. Kaufman gave up the dribble. Smith on the drive. Drew the foul, will go to the line.
Good sportsmanship there from Neal. Always like to see that. Another guy's had a great night tonight. When you got a guy like that that can give you 7 to 10 points a game, 5 or 6 rebounds per game, a couple of steals the way Neal's done too, that's a huge compliment to what Redding and Bowen are doing out there.
Smith missed the first. It's a tough way to start your season, taking on the best two teams in the league.
Well, and
Andrew Abbey comes into the game for Lake, 5'11" senior.
I think the flip side of that coin too is it kind of you kind of can see really early on what you're made of too.
Reddick with a rebound. Yeah, but if you're young and you want to grow, that's not the two you want to see to start the season. A foul. If you're in a situation where you think you'll be much better as the season goes along.
Well, the good thing is they'll see these guys again. They're going to see Lake again. They're going to see Rossford again, albeit on the road.
On the road, though. Bowen with a free throw. He's got 28. (71-49). Second one no good. Abbey ends up with the rebound or the foul.
Another guy's a pretty good football player for the Flyers, Andrew Abbey. Yeah, Lake 13 to 18 at one point from the free throw line. Now I got them 18-29. (18 to 29 now.
Abbey missed them both. Smith with a rebound. Under a half minute to go. Not sure if the officials get paid by the whistle down the stretch. Just saying.
Well, Noah Smith's not going to complain about that because that just gave him 18. I can't say enough about that kid, though.
The officials do a good job.
A lot of hustle. And that was just one thing about playing these teams early in the year. You know you got a tall task ahead of you, but if the effort's there and the energy's there, and I really do believe it has been for both games for Eastwood, that's a good reflection on Routson. It's a good reflection of his guys when you look at the experience that they lost from last year and the scoring.
See if Bowen just dribbles us out here. 2-1, and that's going to do it. 71-51. The Flyers go to 3-0 on the season, 2-0 in the Northern Buckeye. Eastwood will drop to 2-2, but 0-2 in the NBC. We'll take time out, come back and wrap this one up. Lake, your winner, 71-51 over Eastwood on the Toledo Sports Network. It's CW13.